Your whole entire life will change once you begin to choose yourself first every single day, every single moment. And when you become radically aware of all the moments in your day where you're actively not choosing yourself, that's when it really starts to get clearer for you. Like, wow, you know what? I really did choose somebody else over myself in this moment. I could have set that boundary, but I chose their comfort over my protection. I chose their emotions over my own well-being. I chose to do an act of service for them, although I wasn't feeling like I was ready and able to give in that moment. When you realize that choosing yourself first isn't selfish, it's necessary, it's required, that's when the whole entire game changes. And I always tell you that your life is a game. So changing the game will allow you to experience a different reality that you have not been able to experience just yet. You are the controller. You are the creator of your little world, of your own universe. And choosing yourself first means that you're paying attention to your physical health and well-being, your emotional health and well-being, your mental health and well-being, and your spiritual health and well-being. Choose yourself first. Now, it's not to say screw everyone else, push everyone else away, don't listen to when other people have problems. It's not that. Choosing yourself first means that once you have the opportunity to show up for somebody else outside of you, you are feeling whole and complete. You are feeling ready and activated. You are able to help them more accurately, deeply, more potently, whether it is your partner or your kids or your clients. When you choose yourself first, you are setting that thermostat. You are setting that inner standard. Everything else falls into place, falls into line, falls into alignment with you. But if the first thing that you do when you wake up every single day is serve others, pay attention to others, check in on others, you are conditioning your nervous system and your subconscious mind to believe that other people are more important than you, that other people's priorities take the cake as opposed to you serving you. When you open social media first thing in the morning, when you open your emails first thing in the morning, when you check your text messages first thing in the morning, you're rewiring your nervous system to find serving others as a comfort level, as a familiar thing, as something that should be consistent. And so in the times that you are choosing yourself, it feels like you don't deserve it. It feels like you are unworthy of it. It feels like it's shameful to even be thinking about serving yourself or paying attention to yourself or giving yourself exactly what it is that you need. It turns into something where you feel embarrassed or guilty for taking that time to say, you know what, I need my me time. And other people are like, no, but I need you right now. They don't need you right now. Unless it's a literal physical emergency that you're able to step into and help out with in that moment, nothing is that urgent. Nothing is that urgent. Truly. What is urgent is your inner child who's been crying out to you for the past 5 weeks saying, please look at me, please see me. I need you. Something that is happening, something that's going on, someone who's saying something is hurting me. Why aren't you listening? Why aren't you looking at me? And then you're going and you're self-sabotaging because you're self-abandoning. Choosing yourself first means that you are no longer writing the identity and associating yourself with the identity of someone who abandons themselves. 9 out of 10 times, when you are thinking about, why is it that I'm not getting this manifestation yet? Why is it that I'm not breaking through to my next level? Why can I not become her, that version of me that I know I was born to be? 9 times out of 10 is because you are self-abandoning yourself. You're self-abandoning. This is a huge revelation. You have been self-abandoning in so many ways, and I want you to clock yourself. I want you to own that. I want you to say, you know what? I do self-abandon. The moment that I have an idea and it feels so exciting in my heart space. And then I get into the logistics of how I'm going to make that happen for myself, and I get tripped up because I am feeling like I don't have the resources, or I don't have the support system, or I don't have the know-how, I don't have the credibility, I don't have the certification, I don't have the audience for it, I don't have the clientele for it, I don't have the money for it. You are self-sabotaging by abandoning your dreams, abandoning yourself, abandoning your inner authority, abandoning your level of power through manifestation. You're abandoning your intuition. Abandoning your intuition in a way where you know that your intuition is always that compass that helps you navigate towards that North Star, where it is that you are going, who it is that you're meant to be. But you are deciding to self-abandon by not implementing what it's showing you in the first place. You are self-abandoning every single time you're choosing other people's needs before your own. So how is it that you're waking up every single morning? Are you waking up every single morning and saying, hello, physical body? It's nice to feel today. Oh, I have a little bit of a soreness in my neck. Oh, maybe I slept a little funny. Or, oh, you know what? My body's feeling just so calm right now. I'm so grateful and so happy to experience this physical sensation in my body. I'm feeling well rested today. Maybe I'm not feeling well rested today. Maybe I'll just go and take a meditation or book myself a massage. Or maybe I'll just do some movement practices to help me feel a little bit better in my body. Beautiful. All right, emotional body, how are you doing today? Okay. Beautiful. All right. I'm seeing that you had a really bad dream and you're still a little bit in shock, still a little bit in fear, but that's okay. We'll regulate you. Let's breathe. It's the start of the day. Fear is an illusion. Let's go ahead and move through that. Let's process that. If we have to dig deeper and ask why we're experiencing this pain, why we're experiencing this fear, why we're experiencing this anxiety, why we're experiencing this stress, why we're experiencing this burnout. This is the very first moment of my day today. Nothing yet has happened. Nothing yet has started. This is a brand new, fresh slate that I get to write in today. A new journal page I get to write in today. So let's go ahead and see what's telling me, what my emotional body is telling me right now. Okay, beautiful. Feeling good. Not much is going on. Great. Tap into the mental body. Mental body, how you doing? Where is the headspace at today? How are we starting the day today mentally? Okay, maybe we had really good sleep and so we're feeling really clear. Maybe we didn't have that best of sleep. Maybe we're worried about something all night long because we got a text message last night. Is that still on our mind? Okay, it is. Great. How can we soothe? How can we support? How can we give advice? How can we allow ourselves to reframe the perspective? Beautiful. Okay, so spiritual body. Spirit, how you doing today? Any intuitive messages that I need to hear? Oh, there was something in my dream that I forgot. Okay, let me remember my dream. Oh, okay, that was an intuitive piece. Got it. It was a download. Beautiful. All right, Spirit, is there a perspective that I can have as a third eye or bird's eye view today? What is the highest level of consciousness that I'm able to tap into right now? Let me go ahead and feel my own divine power of femininity and my own divine power of masculinity. And let me feel the merge and the balance of both of those so that I can powerfully manifest whatever comes into my day to day. Okay, great. Now that I've checked in every single body, now that I've regulated and balanced every single one of my bodies, what is the day going to look like today? Before I pick up my phone, before I answer emails, before I respond to text messages, before I see what's going on social media, before I check the news, before I even get out of bed. Let me go through and project into my future, project into my day, exactly how I want to experience this day, exactly how I want to feel fulfilled, exactly how I'm going to be serving my clients, exactly what I'm going to wear, exactly how I'm going to do my hair, exactly the serendipitous moments that maybe I don't really know what it is right now, but I'm going to plant in some serendipity. I'm going to plant in some surprises. I'm going to plant in some positivity that unfold for me throughout the day today so that I can still live in this game without having everything perfectly planned out and still be very happily responsive to everything that's going on for me, right? I get to do these things every single day. I don't have to do these things every single day. I get to do these things every single day. I choose myself first. I choose my lifestyle. I choose what this day is going to look like. I choose how it is I'm going to serve my clients. I choose the level of success that my clients are going to receive from me today. I choose the level of success I'm going to receive from me today. I choose to get healthy in my body. I choose to work out. I choose to do the Pilates. I choose to go to the gym. I choose to paint my nails, right? When you are actively choosing and deciding, that's where your power comes from, because not only do you choose it and you make that decision, and you're making that decision from a really neutral point of being, like a peaceful state of being, right when you're waking up, before you even get out of bed or even before you even open your eyes, you're doing this mental process. You're doing this mental process. You are micro-intending your whole entire day. And then what happens? It gets sticky. It gets sticky into your subconscious, like a little sticky note, and it just stays there. And that is what you're running through the whole entire day. The way that your subconscious works is that anything that registers as the biggest dopamine hit first thing when you wake up in the morning, that's what your body is going to be seeking for the rest of the day. So for instance, if you're waking up, you're not drinking water, and the very first thing that you do is go over and you make yourself the sugariest coffee, or you go to the coffee shop and make yourself the sugariest coffee, you have absolutely no protein, no fiber, nothing in your stomach, and you're just downing this sugar-filled coffee the whole entire day. Your body's naturally going to be craving things that have a lot of sugar in them because it wants to match the highest high that you created for yourself the very first moment that you were waking up. So think about how that happens for you mentally when you're waking up and you're automatically scrolling and you're like, haha, funny dog video, haha, look at this thing. Oh my gosh, this person said an opinion and I don't really agree with it. That really pisses me off. Oh my gosh, this thing is happening across the other side of the world and I can't do anything about it, but it's super freaking tragic. Oh my God, that's making me panic. That's making me freak out. Okay, the next one is another happy dog video. And then you're literally scrolling and you're telling your nervous system, you're telling your subconscious first thing in the morning, this is where I'm getting my dopamine hit. This is where I'm getting my dopamine hit. And the rest of the day, your nervous system and your subconscious mind is going to try to find time and fill in these gaps when you could be refocusing, reprogramming your mind, when you could be going all in on yourself, when you could be doing the thing. It's going to find little pockets of time for you to continue scrolling. And your scrolls get longer and longer and longer and longer every single time you actively choose to do that. So instead of you deciding to drink the sugariest thing every single morning before having any form of sustenance or any form of water, or before you decide to scroll in the morning and get all these dopamine hits from all these different creators, how about you become the creator? How about you become your own sugar? How about you put the sugar in your mind of what your day can look like by choosing yourself first? Because then at that point, when you're micro-intending, at that point, when you are envisioning what this life is going to look like for you today, you will then naturally and organically have the support of your nervous system and of your subconscious mind that will recreate that. Why? Because that was the juiciest thing. That was the sugariest thing. That was the thing that inspired so much dopamine within you, a dopamine release within you, and your body naturally is going to begin embodying that. You're going to be taking these actions with the support of your nervous system and your subconscious mind, where it doesn't really feel like a conscious battle that you're having of, oh, I know I have to go to the gym today, but I don't really want to. No, if that's the very first thing in your morning, and then you're getting the dopamine hit of you being super active and feeling like a go-getter and feeling alive in your body, guess what? For the whole entire rest of the day, your emotions are going to be more regulated. You're going to have a better minds and emotion connection. You're going to have a better connection to your own spirit. You're going to have a connection to your own physical body that is much stronger. And every single time you experience a challenge throughout that day, your mind is going to associate that with the challenges that you just experienced in your workout routine and say, well, no, the person that I was training with, or I told myself I was going to do 5 more, I didn't think I could do 5 more. I ended up doing 6 more. And so I know that since I can overcome challenges, since I know that I can choose myself first, since I know if I put my mind to something, I'm going to follow through and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it times 10, then I can overcome whatever other challenge this is that's outside of working out, because I have that metaphor. I have that representation of my life in other ways. And I made sure to do the hardest thing first in my day. The thing that was probably going to take the most time, the thing that was probably going to cause me the most stress, I made sure to do that thing at the top of my list. Because the second that I choose the hardest thing, or what I perceive to be the hardest thing or the most stressful thing, I got it out of the way, which gives me a dopamine hit. Because as soon as it's complete, I feel accomplished. And I love the feeling in my body, in my mind, and my soul when I feel accomplished. And because I feel accomplished, and it's going to be the very first thing that I do in my day, every single other aspect of my day is going to use that as the pillar, as the standard, where I'm going to always feel like, oh, I'm on top of the world today. I accomplished this. The hardest part is over. And I feel like so alive. I feel so empowered. I feel so activated. I feel like my soul is set on fire. I'm feeling so ready to take on whatever else, because if I could do that, and that's how I started my day, the rest of the day is cake. The rest of the day is easy. The rest of the day is going to flow exactly how I envisioned it, or even flow much better. So choose yourself first. And if you realize throughout this process that you've been choosing yourself second, third, or even last, don't allow that to put you into a mental spiral of, oh, woe is me. Oh, I haven't been choosing myself first. Oh, I feel sorry for myself. Oh, I feel la la la. Like, don't even get there. Don't even get there. It's not about that. That is you allowing yourself to spiral into a mindset and an emotion and feel it in your physical body that is not going to serve you at your next level. Sure, we can do some shadow work. Sure, we can do some root work. Sure, we can talk to our inner child, and that's all fine, and that serves a purpose. But if you're going to sit here and say, oh, all those times I could have chosen myself, I feel like I lost my time, then you're not waking up. You're not getting the point. You're not seeing the full picture. You're not seeing it. We are looking for you to change the amount of time, energy, and attention you're putting on the things that you do not prefer. You can acknowledge and have radical acceptance of, you know what, I have not been choosing myself first. Maybe I feel a little bit down about it, but I'm going to process that. I'm going to identify the emotion that's coming up. I'm going to filter that through my body. I'm going to alchemize that. I'm going to heal that. And then once I feel more neutral, from that point, I will go ahead and take action that is choosing myself first. The more that you can minimize the time that you are allowing yourself to suffer, the better. And it's not to bypass anything. We're not. What I just explained to you is the opposite of bypassing. Bypassing is feeling a negative emotion and doing everything in your power not to feel it, not address it, not identify it, not process it, not filter it through your being. Not acknowledge it to any degree, and keep distracting yourself with substances or other people or sex or food or drinking or social media or any other thing that is not paying attention to your inner being. I'm telling you to pay attention to your inner being, and pay attention to your inner being so much so that when you know that you're having or experiencing this negative emotion, you address it, you process it, you filter it out, not bypassing. This is literally doing the work. But the work doesn't have to take all day long. The work doesn't have to take you a 5-hour-long meditation most days. And if it does at the beginning and you're really feeling like I'm stewing in this, I get into a spiral, I get into my mind. I don't know, maybe my mind is broken. Maybe my mindset is not like other people's. I don't know how people can experience such contrast in their life and not want to sit there for hours dwelling on it. If that's you, that is fine. Acknowledge that that is part of your pattern. Acknowledge that that is how your system has been hardwired, but also acknowledge that that is also a temporary thing if you allow it to be a temporary thing. You can allow those things to be temporary. And you can say, you know what? I give myself 5 minutes to feel all the emotions in the world about this one thing. And then after 5 minutes, I'm going to start to infuse more joy, happiness, laughter, positivity, humor into my life and start to change my state of being by doing the things that soothe my soul, by doing the things that make my heart feel pure and alive, by doing the things that would make my inner child feel happy, by doing the things that would make my future self feel happy, by doing the things that make me feel like the baddest bitch on this fucking planet. When you allow yourself to feel the entirety of your emotions, but then are actively choosing to make sure that you're equally spending enough time equal to or more than the time that you spent dwelling or the time that you spent feeling, the time that you spent processing, the time that you spent in that releasing process of the healing journey, then you can allow yourself to take on the other half of the healing journey, which is infusing. Every single time I teach you how to heal, I say half of it is releasing and half of it is infusing. If you're stuck in the release, sure, that can feel good for a moment, but then you get stuck into a healing trap, and I am not here to make you feel stuck. I am here to remind you that in every single point in your journey, you can choose yourself and choose to feel a different vibration, choose to embody a different frequency, choose to embody that version of you who actually feels like you're moving forward instead of being bombarded by all the pain and suffering and all of the chaos that this world also has in store for you. It's okay. You've got this. Make sure that you're infusing in that ending part of the process. There have been so many times in my journey where something really big happened. I was in a relationship and we got into like a really big fight, right? And in those moments, I'm like, I just want to feel the suck. I just want to feel the anger. I just want to feel blue. I just want to feel, like frustrated at this. And you are allowed to, but I know myself, and myself at that point would sit there for days and let it ruin my whole entire week and let it like snowball into the worst month of the relationship that ever existed. And so because I knew that pattern, because I knew myself, and because I knew I could get that way, I decided, you know what, girl, you're going to sit here. And if you want, depending on how like big the emotions are, how intense the emotions are, the severity of the emotions, I would give myself a timeline. So I would give myself an hour, I'd give myself 3 hours, I'd give myself half the day, or I would give myself the whole entire day. Cry all day long, girl. Cry all day long, feel the feels, go through all the ways of the emotion, figure out why you're feeling these ways, figure out all the boundaries that you would put in place so that this situation doesn't have to end up being like this for that long in the future. And then the next day I'd be like, all right, I got all my cries out. I got all my worries out. I examined my fears over and over and over again. I did a whole slew of overthinking, over worrying, panicking. I had my moment where I could do that. And since I acknowledged that version of me who needed that kind of release, who needed that kind of panic, who needed that kind of anxiety, now I can serve myself much better by taking care of that wound. By taking care of that wound and moving forward. Why? Because I choose myself first. I choose the version of me who is so emotionally intelligent. I choose the version of me who can find peace, harmony, and balance in the midst of all the external chaos. I choose the version of me who is still so completely confident and has so much inner authority, even if the world is judging me and sending me evil eye. I choose that version of me 10 times more than I choose the version of me who's sitting here sulking. I choose that version of me over the version of me who just feels like the world does not love her, right? You have to actively choose that next level version of you every single day. Choose it mentally, but choose it through the actions that you take and the decisions that you make as well. Full embodiment. Embodiment is the thoughts, the feelings, the decisions, and the actions that you take. That's all it is. That's all it is. When you hear the word embodiment, you're like, okay, but how do I embody? How do I feel as if I already have it? How do I? Okay, I'm telling you how. I'm telling you how. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and your decisions. That is how you do it. If you want the how, it's broken down into 4 different parts. Healing those emotions when they come through, aligning your emotions with your thoughts, aligning your emotions, your thoughts, and your decisions, aligning your emotions, your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions, that all comes through the healing journey. And again, if you do not know how to take healing into your own hands and you feel like you don't have the proper tools to get you from where you are right now to where it is that you want to go, that's when I say jump into one of my containers, my love. That's when I say jump into one of my containers. You can sign up for Reiki training. You can sign up for Beyond Balance. Or if you're just really focused in on high level mentorship, that's when you can join the Fierce Awakening Mastermind. Get a Reiki session. If you're like, well, I really want to learn how to take healing into my own hands, but I just am so overwhelmed, or I just really trust someone else to do it for me for the first few weeks, first few months, then just get a regular Reiki session. Lay down, relax, have me take care of you. Choose yourself. Choose to be taken care of, and have that be a form of you choosing yourself, right? Allow yourself to choose yourself first in every single scenario. And again, it is not a selfish thing. It's a self-care thing. It's a self-freedom thing. It's an inner standard that you get to choose for yourself. I decide that I go first in every single thing that I do today. I decide that I go first. And when you decide to choose yourself first, I want you to go and dream as big as you possibly can. If I were to ask you, hey, how are you deciding to choose yourself first today? And you're like, well, I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to journal, and I'm going to do yoga, and I don't really get to do these things, but I'm going to do it today. Okay, great. How can we 10x that? Right? That is something that would be amazing, base level self-care. But we're beyond base level self-care. You've done the journaling, you've done the meditations, you've read the books, you listened to the podcast. You've done a lot of those basic level things, and they're necessary, but they're still basic level. We're no longer playing at the basic level, not when you're here with me. right? Not when you're here with me. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to choose myself today. Okay, great. How can you 10x that? Can you decide that if you're going to do yoga today, you're going to do a yoga session that you've never done before? It's not going to be inside your house in your living room, but it's going to be out into a different location with a trainer who's going to really challenge you. And also it's hot yoga, so it's different. And you're also going to wear an outfit that makes you feel like your most confident self. And maybe at the end you sign up for a membership so that you can stay consistent with being in the other room with women who are also up-leveling themselves and their yoga journey, right? How can you 10x what it is that you're about to do? Or 10x the idea in general? How can you amplify and turn the volume up? Right? This is exactly what we're talking about when we're saying put that into the cave and see what the echoes are. But if your echo is, I'm going to do a little bit of yoga today, I'm choosing myself first, like that's a weaker vibration. I want you to challenge yourself throughout this whole entire process, and every single podcast episode and every single training and every single masterclass. I want you to see how far you can actually go, not to a breaking point, but technically if we're looking for a breakthrough, might as well play around with the intensities, right? Play around with the volume of the frequencies that you're actively projecting out into your own universe. Test your own limits. See how far you can go. See how much you can do. Everyone loves a challenge. Everyone loves a challenge. When you're challenged, you increase your evolution so much more and so much faster. If you're looking to quantum leap and shift your identity and change your whole entire external reality to match the reality that you have going on within you, you have to be able and willing to like push it further. Push it further in a way that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Why? Because growth is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. That is okay. That if you remember when you were going through puberty, that was uncomfortable, but was the growth needed? Absolutely. Absolutely. When you are pushing yourself in the gym, are you not even breaking a sweat? Because that's not gonna get you the abs that you're looking for if you're not willing to sweat, right? Allow yourself to choose yourself first, but choose yourself first in a way that seems a little bit like, ooh, can I do this? Let me just try. If I fail, it's okay, but like, let me just try to see if I can. I'm like, oh my God, I can. I remember my best friend was like, let's go to the gym together. And I was like, okay. And I was like, not really a gym girly. I did Pilates at home, and it was still like at the beginning of my Pilates journey and like workout journey. So I was not like that confident in knowing what my body was capable of all the way. And so when I went to the gym, I was like, all right, like I'll just start with like 20 pounds. And if you've ever been to the gym lifting weights, you know that 20 pounds is like the very first like level on the machine. Like that there's nothing less than 20 pounds on any machine you do. And so my friend was like, no, you're gonna bump it up like more. And I was like, but I don't. And she's like, no, you can handle it. You've got this. And I'm like, okay. And so I was like, but let me just start at 20. She's like, all right. I started at 20. I was like, oh no, this is way too easy. She's like, I know. That's what I'm telling you. She's like, just start at 50. And I would start at 50. And she's like, great. You did that rep. It was too easy. Go and bump it up. And then I did another 10 reps. And he's like, okay, bump it up. Do another set. And I'm like, okay. And so I would end up like finishing at like 80 or 100 pounds, depending on what muscle group that we were tending to in that moment. But if she wasn't there to remind me of, you can go so much bigger, you can play so much harder, you can actually push yourself. I want you to take yourself to the point of where it's almost a little bit too much and see how many reps you can do. And then once you're done, you're done. We don't have to completely like traumatize you in your gym experience, but I want you to see what your actual real edge is. So I want you to not only do that and figure out what your real true edge is. What is that brink? What is that cusp? What is that point where you're like, oh my God, it might be a little bit too over the top, but like, I'm going to see if I can go for it anyway. And how can you choose yourself first in every single way with that in mind? And do that not only by choosing yourself first, but do that with also the manifestations that you're bringing in and calling into your life. What does your life look like in the next 2 weeks? What does your life look like in the next 3 months? What does your life look like within the next year? And if you're like not able to envision or imagine that, if like you've never really been someone who's able to like say, okay, well, in a couple months, my life is going to look like this. I'm going to look like this. My body's going to look like this. I'm going to show up like this. I'm going to treat myself like this. I'm going to have conversations like this. I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to get in the rooms with people like this. If you can't like envision that, no wonder you feel stagnant. No wonder you feel stuck. You have an amazing computerized, magical, like quantum brain, quantum mind that is able to transmit any frequency that you are able to just close your eyes and envision. Let me give you an example. Close your eyes right now. Close your eyes right now. I want you to imagine a purple elephant with huge ears, a unicorn's horn, painted glittery nails, the tail of a horse, and the whole entire elephant itself is not only super shiny and glimmers in the sunlight, but has bright blue eyes that are so kind and so loving, with the biggest heart you can even possibly think of. And every single time that they walk like around you and you can see them walking around you, you smell vanilla cupcakes. You can envision that. If you can envision that, you can envision the next 3 months of your life. You envision something that doesn't even exist. You envision something that does not even make sense in this world. Like, you will not see that with your human eyes in this world unless it was a cartoon. Okay? But your mind was able to see it. So you cannot use the excuse of, well, I just don't know how to envision myself in the next 3 months. Yes, you do. You're just choosing not to. And don't be scared of what you're able to dream. Dream of something and then 10x it. Dream of something and then 10x it. And we're playing in the realm of fantasy for sure. We're playing in the realm of imagination for sure. We're playing in the realm of you bending your reality for sure. And we're doing so in the name of you choosing you. We're doing so in the name of you're the creator of your own reality, act like it. We're doing so in the name of you are the magician. You get to choose what it is that you experience in this lifetime. Okay? So take this opportunity today. Whether you have to write it down, which you know I love when you write things down, or have a voice memo, or type it out in your notes app. But take some time today to make that decision. How am I going to use the rest of my day to choose myself first? What does that look like? And how can I 10x it? How can I push myself a little bit further today? And then tomorrow morning when I wake up, how am I going to wake up differently? How am I going to set the standard internally for how I want to be respected, for how I want to be received, for how I want to be perceived, for how I want to love myself? And then how can I feel that way, think that way, make decisions that way, and take actions in that way? And your whole entire life is going to change from this process alone. I love you guys very much, and I will see you in the next one.